What's up, everybody? I think I found a new reality show to watch, and it is called The Brat Loves Judy. And I was kind of looking for something else to watch, and I don't know if I'm going to continue to watch this, but there are a lot of things in this first episode that I really and truly identify with. And so I want to talk about those things just for a few minutes. So, for those of you who have watched it already, then you are aware that the Brat has finally come out of the closet, so to speak, but I don't think we are surprised that she's actually, a part of the LGBTQ community, right? And so she's been dating Judy, I think probably about 2 years now, and their relationship kind of evolved. Brat saw her maybe on Instagram and she was inspired by some of the quotes that she was, some of her inspirational messages. How about that? However, I don't think that it was the inspirational messages that she was inspired by. I think it was the fact that she's kind of swollen around the colon area, if you understand what I mean, because she is definitely a beautiful woman, Judy is, and she does have a great figure. Anyway, that's just my opinion. And anyway, if you watch the first episode, then you also are aware that the Brat did say she wanted to sleep on her backside anyway, right? And I mean, who wouldn't? I mean, she definitely has a big backside. Looks great on her. But anyway, what I also liked about the relationship and how it evolved, so she liked the Brat. They were kind of interested in each other, and then somehow or another she blocked the Brat on all social media, and then she went on to date this guy. That didn't quite work out for her, and then she turns around, unblocks the Brat, tells the Brat she is now unblocked, and then they started to have the relationship that they have today. So that's pretty much how it evolved, right? So let's talk about the Brat and coming out. I don't know about any of you all, but I think I'm okay with how the Brat decided that she would not, come out during the earlier part of her career. I can't see that being an issue for her, even though I don't think it would have been much of an issue. Now, the only male that I know that she said that she dated, if I'm not mistaken, I think she said she dated Allen Iverson for, I don't know, let's just say a while. It could have been a few years. It could have been on and off for over several years. I'm not quite sure, but I think I remember her saying that she did date the Brat. So what we have here in this relationship is that we have these two females who have dated guys, during a particular time in their life. And Judy, it looks like she has about 3 or 4 children. And so it looks like they kind of, was having some issues with whether or not, if they were a part, how would they be a part of the LGBT community? How about that? So anyway, but I understand the Brat. Also, too, she mentioned about, what coming out did to Ellen DeGeneres. And of course, I am a person of a certain age myself, so I understand. I was actually there and a part of it. When I say there, watching the Ellen DeGeneres sitcom. And when she finally, and everybody, knew she was, gay, but when she finally came out, and the show was not the same. Even for me, I think it just, here we go, we want to be mindful of certain terms we use, but for me, honestly, the show was like too gay for me, even back then, because it seemed like everything was more centered around her, being gay, that we totally missed all of the funny parts, of Ellen's show. And I think it became a little too much and too in your face at the time. I don't think a lot of people was really, wanted to deal with that. And so I can understand Brat, not wanting to do that to her career. I don't know. But anyway, leave a comment. Maybe you think that she should have came out, you know, even in the earlier part of her career. You know, people have different opinions about that. So I can appreciate her not doing that. That's just my opinion. Also, another thing in this show that I identify with is the number of dogs they have. You know, I was a dog parent for a while. I don't know how long I had my dog. How long did I have Sam? How long did I have him? Less than a year? I'm sorry, you guys. This is my first time actually doing this video, and I have my sister and my niece over here. You know, normally I'm sitting on the couch, but they're on the couch right now. So I decided to do something new and, you know, let them kind of have an idea of what it is that I do as well. So I think I had them for, I think it was less than a year. 6 months? Maybe. 7? Maybe that long. But anyway, so long story short, it made me want to have dogs again or a dog again. I had a Shih Tzu and he had separation anxiety really bad. I don't know if I got him too soon, but anyway, I did. And a quick story about that, I'm going to tell you about my experience with having him and then getting rid of him. It's just a quick story. One day, first of all, you have to be committed to being a dog parent. You do. It's not something that, you know, you purchase and then all of a sudden you put in your home and you maybe potty train them and then feed them food. You know, it's a little bit more than that, because if you had a Shih Tzu before, then you know that dog definitely needs to be groomed. And so there were times, I'm sorry, but there was times where, you know, his coat kind of got matted every now and then because, you know, I was just going to work. I would have to get up about 5 in the morning, get ready. And then I didn't have time the only time I had for him was basically to take him outside, let him use the bathroom, and bring him back into the house. And then I would get off work probably around, I don't know, 6 or 7. Take him outside enough to use the bathroom, bring him back in, feed him, and then before I went to bed, take him back outside again. And so again, if you can tell, that is not a good, you know, lifestyle for a dog to have. You definitely need to have time to spend with the dog. You have to have time to groom him. Well, a set schedule for grooming him, as well as making sure that the shots, I was also, you know, single at the time, so if you leave, you got to find someone who's responsible enough for taking care of the dog. So you get the point. So it just really wasn't an ideal situation for me. And one day I decided to go to Redbox, right? I think it was about, I don't know, 8, 9 in the evening, and I decided that I want to go to the Redbox to get a movie. I did that. Long story short, I'm not thinking, because the dog is following me throughout the house. Long story short, I go into the bathroom in the bedroom. I come out of the bedroom, and of course he's following me, and before I realized it, I didn't know I shut my bedroom door. And I would leave the house. And all the lights are off. So when I come back from the Redbox, I go into the house and I hear him. He's like, ha, 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 ha. And I'm not thinking nothing about it. I'm like, this crazy dog. Like, what's wrong with this dog, right? So I'm not thinking about anything. I'm going back to my bedroom, down the hallway, and I'm still listening to him. He was going, ha, 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 ha. And finally, I realized that when I wanted to check on him, or to see him, because he was breathing heavily, right? Kind of like you're thirsty, you know, like when a dog is thirsty. And I open up my bedroom door and I turn on my bedroom light, and I look down in his face, around his mouth. It's like he's been drinking water. And I'm like, where did he get this water from? Because I didn't have any out. And that's when I look down and I see that he's literally, while I was gone, he thought I was in the bedroom. My bedroom door is shut, so he's thinking I'm in the bedroom, and he's stretched up the door. He's literally ate through the carpet to get through the door. And I was like, oh my gosh, like that was enough. Not only that, there he also ate some of the tile in the bathroom. You know, that was really bad. And so after he did that, and when he did that, and then he tried to go through my bedroom door, I was like, enough is enough. I can't do this anymore. You know, it's time that I give the dog away to someone. And so that's pretty much my dog story. Seeing them have, I think they have about 5 or 6 dogs, made me think that I think I'm ready to do it again, because I realized the responsibility in it, and I think I wanted to give it another try. I'm not quite sure what kind of dog I want to have, but I know I don't want to have another Shih Tzu. I don't want that at all. As a matter of fact, I've seen a lot of people with Labradoodles. Am I saying that right? Awesome dogs. I love them. I love the coat. I love how tall they can get. I think it's a mixture of a lab and a poodle. And every time I come across someone who has one, they're always saying that they got them from Alabama. So I'm assuming that maybe, you know, in Alabama, and I'm not in Alabama, but every time I see someone, they said that they got it in Alabama. So I'm assuming maybe there's a breeder there. You know, have to look into that. So I think that's what I want my next dog to be. Anyway, but I did like having him. Sam, I call him Samson. I liked having him a lot. It took some adjusting, and when I would leave, I knew I had to raise the blinds up, you know, because he would always have to look through the window, and look outside the window rather, and so I would have to hold the blinds up to keep him from looking outside. I mean, we're messing up the blinds rather. And then too, the only other thing was that when I got home, I will always have my pillows on the couch. They will always be on the floor, but it was never messed up or anything, you know. And now that I think about it, I don't know what probably he was doing on those pillows, y'all. But anyway, but you know, so he never destroyed the house like that. It was just that when he tried to go through the door, I was like, enough is enough. So, you know, I'll be more mindful and cautious about what kind of dog that would best fit me. You know, so anyway, speaking of dogs and what best fits me, also in this episode, they're trying to renovate their home as well. And I was I was saving money to purchase my own home. I finally decided that that's something that I wanted to be, was a homeowner. And now that I, you know, told some of you guys, I don't know if you all remember, but, you know, I was like, I miss my balcony. You know, when I was recording the videos, I missed my balcony. And so now that I'm kind of like over at my sister's house, and I was saying to myself, and everybody keeps asking me like, when you gonna move? When you gonna move? When you gonna get your own place and everything like that? And I think for me, where I am in that is that I guess I'm kind of picky about the next place I want, because the last place I had, I really and truly intended on having it. Like, I really and truly like spoke it out into existence as far as the kind of place that I wanted. And when I found this place, it was definitely ideal for me. It was a place that had character, it had personality. I liked the property, that the apartment complex, you know, how they kept the complex up and everything. I liked everything about the place I liked. And so I just don't want to go in and say, oh, I have a place to have a place. And so now I can see what it's like if you really and truly want to have your ideal space and what that ideal space will look like. So I have been looking at a couple of places, and it's still haven't just really said this is the one. And I think that that's really and truly what I'm waiting on. I wanted to say, you know what, this is the place that best fits me. Now I think though they need to move out of their house while it's being renovated. That's just me personally. I don't think it's going to ever get done. I think, you know, what the contractor was saying, or the property manager was saying, or project manager, excuse me, was saying, hey, you guys, you'll never get it done, because, you know, they was talking about the water maybe being shut off on them, or the electricity being shut off on them, you know, if they're having to maintain this, that, and the other, or fix something. Yeah, I think you can adjust to that, but I think the bigger issue is leave the home, get it to where you want to be, and then move in once that happens. But again, I can identify with that now as well. Now, as far as building a home, I'm more of a townhouse type person, or maybe a condo kind of person. I don't think I can deal with an actual house. You know, I don't think so. I think that I'm one of those persons. I'm sorry, something funny just happened over here, y'all. Never mind. Hey, I told y'all I'm recording. Y'all a mess. Y'all a mess. I don't know what y'all gonna hear. You know, I told them to kind of be quiet. They're watching TV and everything. So, hey, it is what it is over here on this side. So, I lost my train of thought. But I think, yeah, property and purchasing homes and all of that stuff. Now, I'm the kind of person, and I'm telling you right now, just build a house. That's all I want. You know, a friend of mine, you know, they live in Atlanta, and they went through the process of getting them a townhouse built, right? And so I'm not the kind of person who wants to go in and say, hey, what kind of screws do you want to have? I don't care. Screw it in there. You know, put the cover over the light switch, put a screw in, and let's go. You know, let's be on our way. But I'm not ready for those kinds of decision-making type things, you know. Of course, maybe choosing the appliances and all of that stuff, but I do know when it is my time to get a house build. I know that it's going to take more than me to make those decisions. So I'm going to really and truly have to call on somebody to help me pick out those appliances and help me pick out, I guess, the screws that need to go into the walls and all of that stuff. So anyway, choosing a place, so I can identify with that as well. Now, here's something that came up in this episode that I think I can identify with as well, but I think it was an issue for me. And that is was it the Brat's or Judy's team member said, isn't that too masculine for you to propose to the Brat? And I'm saying to myself, y'all just got to bear with me. Too masculine? We're talking about two women. So one of the women are going to, you know, propose to the other, right? So I guess in the ideal situation, everyone would probably, or that person would have been okay with the Brat proposing to Judy instead of Judy proposing to the Brat. For me, in that kind of situation, I think the only thing that would be an issue for me would be the names as well as the rings. And I like the fact that Judy decided that she wanted more of a unisex type ring, and I think for me, I would want the same thing. I wouldn't want the traditional male ring. Like for me, I need some diamonds in it. You know, I need some diamonds. You got to do some diamonds or something for me. It has to be in the ring. It doesn't have to look like the traditional male ring. I don't want those. I don't want that. Definitely, I don't want that. I want something that fits my personality. So I understand her on that part as well. Now, what is the other thing that came up with? Yes, the names. So when a friend of mine got married, I think he kept his name and then added on his husband's name. For me, I think it's whoever proposes. That's the person who needs to take the name. That's how I look at it. For me, it's like whoever proposes needs to take the name. I don't know. That's just me. I don't know about how you guys feel about it. I think from a traditional standpoint, I think I might have to be Jones or whatever the case may be, and then last name vice versa. Now, if you got a whole lot of money, a lot of money, I might just end up taking your name and not even using mine at all, because I can always buy that sucker back. So, you know what I'm saying? I don't care. I don't know how you feel about that one. You know, that's a very touchy subject, so I'm not quite sure how anyone would feel about the name situation at all. And maybe I would just keep my name. Maybe I don't need to, you know, change my name at all. You know, I don't know. I just thought about that. Maybe I can keep my name. See, you never know. Always rules. So the last thing in this show that I want to talk about would be when your partner is acting a fool or suspicious. Now, I understand that Judy is trying to surprise the Brat as far as this birthday party / engagement party. But I do think that she should have at least, you know, kind of, like I said, Brat says, send me a heart, send me something to let me know that you're thinking about me, for sure to let me know that everything's okay, but just to totally, like, not communicate with her at all. Yeah, I don't think the Brat was in her feelings about it at all. I think the same thing. If I'm going to be in a relationship with you, listen, it's going to be, you're going to have to excuse me, but it's going to have to be some loving consistently. It's going to have to be some affection. It's going to have to be some conversation, because if we're not doing those things, then what do I need you for? Like, why are we here? You know, honestly, you know, so I'm sorry, but yeah, we're going to have to talk several times throughout the day. You know, you can never ever be too busy for me. I'm sorry. Especially, I don't know what that is. Look at that. What is that? I'm sorry, y'all. Right there. You see it? Okay. So, got sidetracked. So anyway, long story short, I would still need that, you know, communication. And for me, the reason why I have not been successful in relationship is simply because of one thing. The first thing you do that kind of like makes me go, I'm done. I'm done. Like, I am so done, you know, and as one person told me before, who I was, you know, kind of involved with and seeing, he was like, man, he said, you drop MS too quick. And I have to be honest with you, I will do that probably in a heartbeat when I think that this is a waste of my time. So again, you know, all I'm saying is, Judy, you might want to be mindful of that communication part, you know, communication. You need to communicate. I don't think the Brat was asking for too much in that. I don't know. I think I might continue to watch it. This is the first episode, so I think it's something that I'm going to watch, but I just really want to talk about it just because as I was watching it, there were some things that came up in the first episode that I can kind of identify with, and it gives you the opportunity to know a little bit more about me. And on that note, see you next video.